Yes, students. So we have studied about all the organelles of the endomembrane system, that is endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, vacuoles and lysosomes. We have also studied about mitochondria and chloroplast, that is plastids. Right? Today we are going to study about ribosomes. Right? Ribosomes are called as the protein factory of cell. It is also called as engine of cell. It is also called as organelle within an organelle. Right? So these are the different names of ribosomes. Ribosome is also called as protein factory. Right? Why is it called as protein factory? Because it is ribosomes. The main function of ribosome is to synthesize, to manufacture proteins. So it is protein factory. Engine of the cell, because it is running the entire cell. Proteins, enzymes are needed to run a cell. That is why it is the engine of the cell, and it is also called as organelle within an organelle. Mitochondria is called as cell within a cell. Ribosome is called as organelle within an organelle. It is also called as pallid particle. Right? The other name of ribosome is pallid particle. Now, why is it called as pallid particle? Right? So, because it was first observed under electron microscope by George Pallid. The scientist was George Pallid in the year 1953. It was first observed by the scientist George Pallid under electron microscope in the year 1953, and that is why it is called as pallid particle. Right? Now this ribosomes are made up of RNA. Right? Ribosomes are made up of RNA. Now students, RNAs are of three types. Right? If you see the type of RNA, then RNAs are of three types. That is mRNA, rRNA and tRNA. These are the three types of RNA. M stands for messenger RNA, R stands for ribosomal RNA and T stands for transfer RNA. So, ribosome is made up of which type of RNA? It is made up of rRNA. Right? The name itself says ribosomal RNA. So, it is made up of RNAs and proteins. Right? These are the two things which make up ribosome. Right? Made up of RNA and proteins. Which type of RNA? rRNA. Then ribosome is a non-membranous organelle. Right? It does not have a membrane. We have studied that vacuole possesses a single membrane. All the other organelles, ER, Golgi body, mitochondria, chloroplast are double membranous organelles. Vacuole is a single membranous organelle and ribosome is a non-membranous organelle. It does not possess, it is not enclosed by any kind of membrane. Right? It is present in prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells, right? So it is present in both prokaryotic cells as well as eukaryotic cells. Students, you know that other membrane bound organelles are absent in prokaryotic cell. This we have studied when we were studying difference, right? So membrane bound organelles are absent, but because ribosome is a non-membranous organelle, there is no membrane bounding. It is present in both prokaryotic cells as well as eukaryotic cells, right? It is present in eukaryotic cells, but except in which cell it is absent? Except mammalian red blood cells, right? Mammalian red blood cells are the eukaryotic cells which do not possess ribosomes, right? It is absent in mammalian red blood cells. Otherwise, it is present in all the eukaryotic cells as well as prokaryotic cells, right? So protein factory, engine of the cell, organelle within an organelle, pallid particle. First observed by George Pallid, right? What is it made up of? RNAs. Which type? rRNA and proteins. Non-membranous organelle, that is why it is present in both prokaryotic as well as eukaryotic cells, but it is not present in mammalian red blood cells, right? Now, types of ribosomes. Types of ribosomes, right? There are two types of ribosomes. The first one is 70S type of ribosomes, right? Now this 70S type of ribosomes are present in prokaryotic cells. Apart from prokaryotic cells, this 70S type of ribosomes are also present in mitochondria and chloroplast, or you can say plastids, right? And plastids. If you remember, we have studied that mitochondria and plastids also have 70S type of ribosomes, and that is why we say that origin of these two organelles is prokaryotic origin, right? The second type of ribosomes are 80S type of ribosomes. This type of ribosomes are present in eukaryotic cells, right? So eukaryotic cells have 80S type of ribosomes. These ribosomes are further classified into two types, that is free ribosomes or bound ribosomes. The name itself says, right, if the ribosomes are present free in cytoplasm, 80S type of ribosomes which are freely floating in the cytoplasm are free ribosomes, but 80S type of ribosomes which are bounded, which are attached with the membrane, which are attached with membrane, that is nuclear membrane or the membrane of endoplasmic reticulum. Students, we have studied, right, that say this is the nucleus, this is the nucleus of the cell. From the nucleus of the cell is going to arise the endoplasmic reticulum. So, bound ribosomes are those ribosomes which are attached to the surface of the nucleus or which are attached to the surface of endoplasmic reticulum, attached to the membrane of endoplasmic reticulum. And we know such endoplasmic reticulum is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum. So free ribosomes are floating freely in the cytoplasm, and bound ribosomes are attached with the membrane, either nuclear membrane or the membrane of ER, right? And such ER is rough ER, right? So 70S type of ribosomes found in prokaryotic cells and in mitochondria and plastids. 80S present in eukaryotic cell except mammalian RBCs. Those are of free type, were found freely in cytoplasm, or bound ribosomes which are attached to the nuclear membrane or to the endoplasmic reticulum, right? We have also studied that which unit of ribosome is attached. So ribosome is having two subunits, right? Larger subunit attaches to the endoplasmic reticulum using a protein, right? By glycoprotein, and that glycoprotein is riboforin. This we have studied when we have studied ER, right? So say this is the membrane of ER, right? Now ribosome is having two subunits, one large, one smaller. So this larger subunit of the ribosome is attached with this membrane of ER with the help of protein. This protein is called as riboforin, right? So ribosomes are attached with the membrane with the help of protein. That protein is riboforin, right? Now we have to study about the detailed structure of what is present in 70S and 80S. Yes. So we were studying ribosomes. So ribosomes are made up of two subunits, right? One is a larger subunit and other is a smaller subunit, right? So there is one larger subunit, say this is the larger subunit of ribosome, and this is the smaller subunit of ribosomes, right? Now we have studied that there are 70S and 80S type of ribosomes. What does this S stand for, right? What does this S stands for? This S stands for Swedberg's coefficient, right? It stands for Swedberg's coefficient. What is this? This Swedberg's coefficient is nothing but the sedimentation rate, right? So the rate at which these ribosomes are sedimenting, those are settling down when those are rotated, that is called as Swedberg's coefficient. It is the sedimentation rate and it is dependent on the density of the ribosome. If ribosomes are denser, their sedimentation rate will be higher, right? If ribosomes are lighter, their sedimentation rate will be lower. So S stands for Swedberg's coefficient. So students, we have studied that ribosomes are made up of rRNA and proteins, right? So first let's talk of 70S type of ribosomes. 70S type of ribosomes. This 70S type of ribosomes are made up of 60% rRNA and 40% proteins, right? It is made up of 60% rRNA and 40% proteins, whereas 80S type of ribosomes are having reverse ratio, which means it is made up of 40% RNA and 60% proteins. This much is clear. 70S 60% rRNA, 40% proteins. 80S ribosomes are made up of 40% rRNA and 60% of proteins. So as I said, it is having a smaller subunit and larger subunit. So the 70S type of ribosome, the larger subunit of the 70S is 50S. Right? So 50S is its larger subunit and the smaller subunit is 30S. It is smaller subunit, right? So students, we are not calculating 50 plus 30 is 80, so it should be 80s. It is not like that. The number is given based on its Sweat-Box coefficient, that is sedimentation rate. It has nothing to do with this, right? Sum of this number should not be this, right? So larger subunit of 70S is 50S, smaller subunit is 30S. In case of 80S type of ribosomes, the larger subunit is 60S. It is larger subunit. And the smaller subunit is 40S. 40S is the smaller subunit. Now this 50S is also further made up of subunits, right? So it is made up of 23S and 5S, right? Whereas 30S is made up of 16S, right? This 60S larger subunit is made up of 28S, 5.8S and 5S. Whereas 40S is made up of 18S type of units. Again, as I said, that these are the particles which make larger subunit and these are their sedimentation rate. Yes students, so this is clear. Ribosomes are made up of larger subunit and smaller subunit, right? S stands for Sweat-Box coefficient. It is nothing but the sedimentation rate, the rate at which the ribosome is settling down, right? Now 70S, that is prokaryotic ribosomes, are made up of 50S larger, 30S smaller. 50S is made up of 23S and 5S, and 30S is made up of 16S, right? 80S is made up of 60S, which is larger unit, and 40S, which is smaller unit. That is further made up of 28S, 5.8S and 5S, and 40S is made up of 18S type of particles. This much is clear students. Now we have also studied, students also remember one thing, that this ribosomes are of 70S type and 80S type, but mammalian mitochondria possesses 55S type of ribosomes. Mammalian mitochondria have 50S type of ribosomes, right? So these two subunits of ribosomes are not attached with each other. Actually, these two subunits are floating freely in the cytoplasm, right? So the two subunits of ribosomes are not attached. Those are floating freely in the cytoplasm. But whenever there is need of synthesis of proteins, these two units will combine. Once proteins are synthesized, these two units will again become separated, right? So what is needed for it, right? The two subunits, let me write, two subunits float freely in cytoplasm and they come together only during synthesis. So whenever there is need of protein synthesis, at that time only these two subunits come together. But for these two subunits to come together also, there is need of a specific concentration. There is need of 0.001 molar magnesium ion concentration. Clear? This is very important, students. Remember it, right? The two subunits of ribosomes are floating freely. They will come together only if the magnesium ion concentration is 0.001 molar. If the concentration of magnesium ions is less than this, then these two units will not come together, right? So say, let me show you the diagrammatic representation, right? Say this is the smaller subunit, right? And this is the larger subunit, right? When the concentration of magnesium ion is 0.001 molar, right? Say we are talking of ATS. So this is 40S and this is 60S. When this much of concentration of magnesium ions is available, at that time only these two subunits, that is smaller and the larger subunits, will come together to form ATS type of ribosomes. Now, if the concentration of magnesium ions is 10 times then 0.001 molar magnesium ion concentration, then what is formed? Then dimer is formed, right? So dimer is like this. This is smaller subunit. This is one more smaller subunit, and these are the larger subunit. This is called as dimer, right? So dimer, when is dimer formed? When the concentration of magnesium ions is 10 times greater than 0.001 molar concentration, right? So here there are two ATS. This is one ATS and this is other ATS. These two ATS together forms 120S. Again, as I said, we don't have to sum this. This is its sedimentation rate, right? So dimers of ribosomes are like this, right? So ATS plus ATS forms 120S and 70S plus 70S forms a dimer whose sedimentation rate is 100S. This is very important, right? But when is dimer formed? Dimer is formed when the concentration exceeds 10 times greater than 0.001 molar concentration of magnesium ion. ATS and ATS, 2 ATS dimer is 120S, 270S dimer is 100S, right? One more thing you have to remember, students, that is called as ergosome. What is ergosome? Ergosome or polysome or polyribosome. What is it? Ergosome, polysome or polyribosome, right? So when this is an mRNA, right? This is mRNA. When many ribosomes are attached to the mRNA, it gives a bead on string kind of appearance, right? So say this is one ribosome, its larger unit and smaller unit. This is second, this is third, fourth and so on, right? So that kind of arrangement is called as polyribosome. So what is it? Many ribosomes attached to a single mRNA. So just as there is a string and we are putting beads on it, right? Giving beads on string appearance. That is called as polyribosome or ergosome or polysome. Again students, this is very important. Single string, that is mRNA, with many ribosomes, with many beads on it, that is called as polysome or polyribosome. Yes, so we have studied that prokaryotic ribosomes are of 70S type, eukaryotic are 80S type. 70S type are 50 and 30, 80 are 60 and 40, right? The subunits of ribosomes are floating freely in the cytoplasm. They require 0.001 molar magnesium ion concentration to combine. So this is 80S, right? But if the concentration exceeds 10 times greater than 0.001 molar, then dimer is formed, right? The dimer of 80S is 120S and the dimer of 70S is 100S. Very important is ergosome or polysome or polyribosome, right? So on a single chain of mRNA, when multiple ribosomes are attached, they give a bead on string kind of appearance, which is called as polyribosome. Yes students. Now one more thing, we have studied that 50S type of ribosome is made up of 23S and 5S, right? Now students, enzymes, all the enzymes are proteins, but there is an exception, right? This is also very important. All enzymes are proteins. All the enzymes, whatever enzymes you say, are nothing but those are made up of proteins only, right? There are variations, but all the enzymes are proteins. But there is an exception. What is it? 23S rRNA, right? 23S rRNA, it is a part of 50S, that is larger subunit of prokaryotic ribosome. 23S rRNA is functioning as peptidyl transferase enzyme. It is functioning as peptidyl transferase enzyme called as ribozyme. It is called as ribozyme, right? So all the enzymes are proteins, but here 23S rRNA. So it is not a protein, it is a ribonucleic acid. This rRNA, 23S type of rRNA, is functioning as an enzyme. Which enzyme? Peptidyl transferase enzyme, and it is called as ribozyme. So 23S rRNA is called as ribozyme or peptidyl transferase enzyme. It is an rRNA which is functioning as enzyme, whereas all other enzymes are nothing but proteins. So very important, remember this thing students, right? Then functions, before that what you have to study is size, right? So say this is the larger subunit of RNA of ribosomes. This larger subunit of ribosomes have 3 sites, right? Which are those 3 sites? E site, P and A. E stands for exit, P stands for peptidyl site, and A stands for acceptor site. Right? So this will have three sites. Right? One site is E site, other site is P site, and third site is A site. Right? Larger subunit of ribosomes will have these three sites, that is E site, P site and A site. What is the significance of it? We will study it right now. Right? Now, one more thing, students, that function of ribosomes. What is the function of ribosomes? We know that its only function is protein synthesis. Protein synthesis is the only function of ribosome. It synthesizes proteins. Now how? Right? That is what you have to study. I am giving you basic idea. In detail you will study it in your 12th standard. So this is an mRNA. mRNA is messenger RNA. This mRNA will have codons, and codons are always in triplet, and always the first codon will be start codon. Say AUG is a start codon, right? Then say the second codon is CCC, the third codon is CUC. So these are the codons, and these codons are always in triplets in 3, AUG, CCC, CUC. Now, what happens whenever there is need of synthesis of protein? These proteins are synthesized from this information in the form of codons given on mRNA. So now what happens? That the larger and smaller subunits of ribosomes will come and bind. So this is the larger subunit of ribosome. Larger subunit of ribosome. Let me draw it more larger. Right? So say this is the larger subunit and this is the smaller subunit. Right? Now we know there are three sites, right? And those three sites are E, P and A. Now what happens? That first codon is AUG, right? So a tRNA is going to come, right? Say this is a tRNA, the first tRNA is going to come and bind with this AUG, and it is bringing one amino acid 1. The second tRNA is coming and binding at the A site, and it is also bringing one amino acid, that is amino acid 2. AUG is going to bring methionine, CCC is going to bring some other amino acid. Now there is formation of the bond. This bond is peptide bond. Proteins are always made up of peptide bond, right? So proteins are made up of amino acids with peptide bond. So AUG tRNA is bringing one amino acid, CCC tRNA is bringing another amino acid. The first amino acid comes at the P site, second amino acid comes at the A site. Now what happens? This ribosome is shifting. Ribosome shifts towards the mRNA, towards the other side of mRNA. So this tRNA comes at this side, this tRNA comes at this side. This tRNA exits, and what happens? That now this tRNA comes at this site, this tRNA comes at this site, and this tRNA will have two amino acids. Now the third code is CUC. So this tRNA is going to leave, and this tRNA is bringing third amino acid, and ribosome is shifting. So this is how new amino acids keep on coming and peptide bonds are formed. That is the function of ribosomes. You will study in detail about this. There is an entire chapter for it, right? So function of ribosome is protein synthesis. So yes students, we have studied about different names of ribosomes. We have studied about types of ribosomes, subtypes of those ribosomes. What is S? S stands for Swedberg's coefficient, right? What is dimer of ribosome? Which ions are required to combine two units of ribosomes? What is ergosome or polyribosome? And what is the function of the ribosomes? Right? Now we are going to study about the other organelles, that is microbodies, microfilaments and cilia and flagella.